Yeah, hi everybody. So yeah, good evening to many US friends. Yeah, good morning to Europe friends and good noon for most Asia friends. So I'm Kylie, Kylie Liang. I'm the PM lead from Microsoft Cloud plus AI. Our team focused on Java on Azure. In other words, our job is to help Java developers bring their workload to Microsoft Azure cloud platform. So as you know, microservice-based architecture help improve scalability and velocity of cloud-native applications. But implementing them can pose challenges. For many Java developers, Spring Boot and Spring Cloud have helped address some challenges with well-established patterns. Kubernetes is also a very popular orchestrator for microservices. The trouble is that creating and maintaining those infrastructure require administrative work that few organizations are prepared to take on. So today, I would like to introduce a new way to run Spring Boot microservices atop Kubernetes. And by the way, I also have one colleague written online. So if you have any question during my presentation, you could type them in chat window. He will try his best to answer those questions first. Okay, so before we jump to what it is Azure Spring Cloud, let us also spend a few minutes to talk about cloud-native microservices and common challenges, even with well-proven framework and orchestrator. If you ask your friends or colleagues to define the term cloud-native, good chance you'll get different answers. Interesting. 16 months from now, as cloud-native technologies and practice evolve, so will their definitions. Today, cloud-native is all about changing the way we think about constructing critical business systems. Cloud-native systems are designed to embrace rapid change, large scale, and resilience. Here are some companies who have implemented these technicals. Think about the speed, the agility, and scalability they've achieved. As you can see, Netflix, Uber, and WeChat expose systems that consist of hundreds of independent microservices. This architecture enables them to rapidly respond to market conditions. So a microservice architecture consists of a collection of small services. Each service is self-contained and should implement a single business capability. So besides those services themselves, some other components appear in a typical microservice architecture. So you can see management and orchestration level here. This component is responsible for replacing service unloads, in other words, virtual machines, identifying features, rebalancing services across virtual machines, and so forth. Typically, this component is on off-the-shelf technology such as Kubernetes instead of something custom built. And you also could see some component like API gateway, which acts as the entry point for the clients. So the distributed nature of microservices brings some challenges. Spring framework helps you mitigate them. That is why more and more users started to adopt Spring framework. You could see some survey number here. We also have seen the growth for the adoption of Spring Boot over a year. With Spring Boot, your microservices can start small and iterate fast. That is why it has become de facto standard for Java microservices. And with several ready-to-run cloud patterns, Spring Cloud can help with service discovery, load balancer, circuit breaking, distributed tracing, and monitoring. The Spring Cloud suite of projects contains many of such services you need to make your microservices run in the cloud. So let us look into more details here. You could see a bunch of microservices here. And besides those applications, you also could see some Spring Cloud components from this framework. Okay, as you know, in the cloud, application cannot always know the exact location of other services. So that is why there is a service registry. A service registry such as Netflix Eureka can help. And as you know, in the cloud, configuration can't simply be embedded inside the application. The configuration itself should be flexible enough to cope with different applications, different environment, and different service instances. Then Spring Cloud Config Server is designed to ease such burdens and offers integration with version control systems like Git to help you keep your configuration safe. And debugging distributed application can be complex. I believe, you also know how difficult to do that. So Spring Cloud Sleuth can instrument your applications in a predictable way, and with deep keying, you can zero in one-way latency problems you might have. So you can see distributed tracing. So those are 3 examples. In short, Spring Cloud could help you build cloud-native microservices easily. As microservices grow to span multiple containers deployed across multiple servers, multiple virtual machines, operating them become more complex. So that is why we started to more and more about Kubernetes technology. So to manage this complexity, Kubernetes provides an open source API that controls how and where those containers will run. Kubernetes orchestrates clusters of virtual machines and schedules containers to run them on those virtual machines and based on their available compute resources and the resource requirements of each container. So you could see containers are grouped into pods. That is the basic operational unit for Kubernetes, and those pods scale to your desired state. So Kubernetes has a large, rapidly growing ecosystem. Kubernetes services, support, and tools are always widely available. And we do see the trend to containerize applications in the following years. However, if you want to deploy microservices to Kubernetes and hosting them, you also need to know a bunch of new concepts like what I listed here, pod, YAML file, scheduler, and know how to operate them. Here I list a workflow to describe how Kubernetes rolls out work. It is not an easy job, and the learning curve is steep. So besides hosting Kubernetes, creating and maintaining those Spring Cloud infrastructures, those components, also take a lot of work. So like Spring Cloud gives you the machinery, but it's up to you to figure out how you want things secured, scaled, and load balanced. We also heard from one Spring developer that lots of things take time away from building applications themselves, because I have to take care of even service registry. Okay, so besides that challenge, we also captured other 2 common challenges here. It is painful to handle things around the application lifecycle, such as application security, A/B testing, and scaling. And troubleshooting microservices is also another pain. Some customers found it is very difficult to get detailed logs in production, especially in the cloud environment. So to help make it simpler to deploy and operate Spring Cloud applications, together with Pivotal, now VMware, Microsoft have created Azure Spring Cloud. Azure Spring Cloud is a managed service built on top of Azure Kubernetes service with pre-configured Spring Cloud components and ready to deploy environment. It is a joint built, operated, and supported by both VMware Pivotal and Microsoft. That means you can use Azure Spring Cloud for your most demanding applications and know that both Pivotal and Microsoft are standing behind the servers to ensure your success. So in the cloud, you see a lot of difficulties here. Then I also introduce Azure Spring Cloud here. Then let us see more details how it works. So you could see Azure Spring Cloud hosting your user environment for your microservices and also manage the life cycle for them on top of AKS, Azure Kubernetes service. It provides lifecycle management, use comprehensive monitoring and diagnostic service, configuration management, you can see here, and a service registry, as well as CI/CD integration, blue-green deployments, and more. And as part of Azure ecosystem, Azure Spring Cloud allows easy binding to other Azure services, including storage, database, cache, and monitoring, and more. In short, Azure Spring Cloud abstracts away the complexity of infrastructure management and Spring Cloud component management. So as a developer, you can just focus on building your own business code and let Microsoft Azure take care of the rest jobs, such as build and manage your cluster and host the whole environment, including Spring Cloud components, and monitoring, as well as the security patches, compliance standards, and HA. If you want to migrate to Spring Cloud Framework and Azure, so both Pivotal and Microsoft will be there to offer the support for Spring Cloud Framework as well as Azure Spring Cloud Service. Let us look into more about the lifecycle management. So with a few clicks, you can provisioning on Azure Spring Cloud Service, which I will demonstrate to that part for you later. After configuring a couple dependencies in your POM file, your Spring Cloud app is automatically wired up with Spring Cloud Config Server and Service Registry. Furthermore, you can deploy and scale Spring Boot applications in seconds. It supports both fat jar and source code. So you could see a component named Pivotal Build Service. Azure Spring Cloud integrated Pivotal Build Service. It could help you manage source or jar fact to container with cloud native build packs. And we also offered guidance to help you set up your CI/CD pipeline with Azure DevOps, GitHub Actions, as well as Jenkins to deploy your applications to Azure Spring Cloud. With out-of-the-box support for aggregating logs, metrics, and distributed tracing into Azure Monitor, from this page, you also can see how easy to visualize how your applications are performing, detect and diagnose issues across microservices, applications, and their dependencies. Drill into monitoring data for troubleshooting and gain better understanding for what end users do with your applications. This one I'm showing here is application map. As you know, analyzing problems in distributed system can be very difficult. For example, tracing requests that propagate from one microservice to another. It can be quite a challenge to try to find out how a request travels through the system, especially if you don't have any insight into the implementation of a microservice. So from the framework perspective, Spring Cloud Smooth solves this problem by providing support for distributed tracing. And from server side, we also have Azure Application Insight that will give you such on application map. And if you see some features, you also just click that and you could get more details about the performance bottleneck and error messages. And I also will demonstrate this part later. Okay, so then let us be prepared to show this demo. Here I will use a example project named Picmatrix to demonstrate how to bring your Spring Boot microservices to Azure Spring Cloud easily. So you could see Picmatrix was decomposed into some core microservices here. All of them are independently deployed applications, organized around certain business domains. You can see account service here. So this service contains some general user input logic and validation, like expense, saving, or account settings. And you also could see statistics service as well as notification service. So besides these three services, again, you also could see API gateway here. As we described before, API gateway could be a single entry point for your clients. So that is used to handle requests by routing them to the operate backend service. And we also have another service named auth service that is used for user authorization as well as for secure machine-to-machine communication. Okay, you already know what this example project is. Then let me show how it works in Azure Spring Cloud. Please allow me to switch to another window. Okay, I'm sharing my browser, and it shows our Azure portal. If you cannot see that, maybe you could raise that problem in chat window, then I could see how to debug that. Okay, so if no problem, then I will show you how to create one Azure Spring Cloud service first. I already have, what happened? I already have this icon here. So I could just click that. If you don't have that icon, if you are new for this service, you could just search Azure Spring Cloud. Then it will give you some recommendation. Then you could just click that. I'm running the live demo, and even I'm in the office, but it seems the networking is not great. So click add, and it will ask you some questions about resource group and your service name, like that. Okay, this seems the networking is really not good. Okay, it comes. So we could create a little group, Kylie, March of this year. Then I also could have this. Yeah, and currently our Azure Spring Cloud service is in public preview, so everybody can find our service in Azure portal. And today we support 4 regions: West Europe, East US, Central US, and not Central US, sorry, West US 2, and Southeast Asia. Since I'm using my internal subscription, so I could see more regions just for internal test. Here, let me try, West Europe. Okay, and then next step, you could decide whether you want to enable your logs in and store them in log analytics. That means once you create this service and start to create more applications, and those logs of those applications will be directly streamed longitudinal analytics, and then you could view them immediately. So you could enable that. If you don't want, you also could disable that. As well as for tracing, you also could enable that, and then after you have this service, then all of those tracing information will be streamlined to application inside. Okay, then let us go to next step. It will do some validation. After that, you will see the button of create. Okay, and click that. In general, it will take a few minutes. So we don't need to wait for that. Then let us go to one service I already created before today's meeting. Okay. So I already created one service and uploaded 5 applications. So let me introduce some functionalities, and then I will go back to the new service and show how to create applications there. Yeah, for this service, I already uploaded 5 applications. Yeah, for peak metrics. So for each one, you could have multiple instances. So let me click one and introduce more here. You could get some overview information for each application. And since we are talking about microservices, so you also could have multiple IP instances. And we also offered the interface for you to scale your application instances. Okay, so this is the page. You could do that action. You could see everything is simple for you. You just need to change the number. Okay, change your number or change your CPU or memory. Okay, directly. And you don't need to know any concept of code control, load, pod. We help you take care of that part. You just need to know what is my application and how many CPU, how much memory, and how many instances are needed to run my application. That's all. Okay, and for each application, you also could define its environment variables in Azure Portal as well as in CLI. I also will show that part to you later. And of course, most services, for some applications, you also want to collect them with database. So here you could just leverage service binding and easily to collect that with existing or with a new database. So here I already collect my account service with my Cosmos DB. So let me show you how it looks like. Okay, so if you wanted to create a new service binding, you could just click that here. And currently we support 3 tabs, Cosmos DB, MySQL, and Cache. And for Cosmos DB, it supports different APIs about SQL or Mongo. So for my case, I used Mongo. So you could just give you define a binding name here, and you could select your resource name. This is my resource name for my Mongo, my Cosmos DB, and I'm using Mongo API. And you also could select your database and select your key. Yeah, that's all. After you click create, then you could get one like this. Okay, since I already have one, so I will skip this step here. But you can see how easily to collect your application with one database. Okay, so I have those applications and I also got them running. So as what I showed to you, I have one gateway for those in front of other applications. Here I gave one a public endpoint for my gateway. So let us try to access that. Okay, you could get URL here. Okay, and oh yeah, I already have one, but let me let's try to click that again. Yeah, that is the dashboard for Pig metrics. So I already created one account named Kylie Liang, and then it log in. I forgot my password. Let me try again. Kylie. Okay, here it is. So you could do something, you'll record your income, your expense, and save your changes like that. And as what I just showed, you will notice that, oh, I tapped something, but it seems my account is not validated and failed to us. So that is why I cannot log in for my first time. So how to understand them? If how to understand what errors we should focus on, then for our service, we also support log streaming. Let me demonstrate how it works. So that is our command line. By the way, let me also show some common commands here. So I would like to track my logs. So that is on app level. Then logs, and let me try my auth service, see how's going on. Yeah. Okay, it will print the logs what we have. Let me plus and one more parameter f. Yeah, dash f to ensure it will continue to streamline the logs. Then let me try to log in with wrong credential again. Yeah, log out. Try something wrong, something wrong. Okay. Yeah, you will see, okay, something went wrong. Then let us go back and you will see the error message here, bad credentials. Okay, so that is one of the features we offered to you to check out the real-time logs. And besides real-time logs, we also offer advanced features to query logs. So let me show that to you here. Click logs. Yeah, be the snow. And okay, we also offer you some queries. Okay, of course, you also could have your powerful queries. So for example, I could get, okay, show logs which contains the error and run that. Oh, no results found. Okay, then let me try more queries. And let me try other queries and see if I have more information. Oh, yeah, I changed the, I know what happened because last time I wanted to check logs with some specific IP address. So let me check some logs contains error and run that again. Yeah, here it is. So you could see some logs here, which has a keyword error. Yeah, and you also could click them and get more information, what instance report this error message. So for your troubleshooting. Okay, so that's for log. Of course, you also care about metrics. So let me go to metrics dashboard. And we offer a bunch of metrics here. yeah, for error, performance, and session. So let us track, oh, how about the request average time? Okay, so you can see the request time here. And if you want, we have multiple app instances and app instances. So here you could just focus on, I only want to see the data for account service. Okay, and as for account service, as you know, I have two instances. So you also could go here and select one account instance and see how's going on. Yeah. Okay, so that is how it works. And of course, if you care about multiple apps, you also could use this button. I wanted to see multiple apps, so it will show them together. Okay, so Knox metrics, then let us go to tracing. We have a very friendly tracing map here. You could view application map. And there is also another box named search. That means if you click that, then you could query your tracing information. Okay, so you could see my gateway called account service, and for each account, it also noted the authentication requested to auth service. And I also use those services in very bad networking, and you could see the latency is high. And if you wanted to check more details, you could click view details and check more information what happened there, and continue to click investigate performance, and then you could get more details there. Okay, so that's for tracing. And since I have metrics and logs and tracing, of course, something is wrong, I want to be notified. So if you wanted to have such a capability, you could click alert. And you could create alert rule there. And for each rule, you could define, oh yeah, if CPU utilization is more than 50%, then send me a notification like that. So I will not walk through the whole picture here, but just show, show the page, and it is straightforward to teach. You should know how to fill in them. Okay, resource in the condition page, that is you need to specify when you want to trigger and what metrics you want to track. For example, if you want to track CPU percentage, so then you could go to next step and define, okay, if that is greater than 50%, then send me the notification like that. Okay. And for action group, that is one place to define how do you want to receive those notifications, through email, through SMS, or different ways. Okay, the last piece I also would like to highlight is about deployments. So we also offer blue-green deployments. So you, for each application, you could create your green deployment for your staging environment. Okay, and for both production deployment and staging deployment, you besides public endpoint, you also could have test endpoints with your own username and passwords for your own testing. So you could test your staging deployment and decide when to swipe production and staging environment. Of course, for my Spring Cloud microservices, I also configured my configure server settings. I saved all of configurations in my GitHub. So here I just needed to fill in the URL for my config server. And we also support different authentication. So you could have public, and you also could have SSH, HTTP basic for different authentication types. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show to you. Then let us go to the new service I just created. Oh, not this page. Yeah, how to get that back? This page. Okay, so that is done. Then let us go to resource. Okay. So create app, it is easy. As I just introduced, you don't need to care about the underlying infrastructure. So you just focus on your application itself. So here you could just give your application name. Like I wanted to have a test app, Java 8, and give me 2 CPU and a 4 gigabyte memory, like that. And you also could add more, test 2 or something like that. Okay, after those steps, just click create. Then after a few minutes, then you will see those 2 applications up. Then you can decide whether you want to deploy your own application to that test application, and then public endpoint. In general, it will take 1 minute or 2 minutes. So since we needed to wait about 2 minutes to get those applications running, let me stop share here first and see any question online. Yeah, any question, you could type in Q&A in chat window, or you could just unmute yourself and raise your question here.
Yeah, we won't unmute them so they can't ask you a question, but they can do the Q&A, and you are welcome to stay on and answer those Q&As for the next few moments. So Kylie, are you all done?
And I may need 1 or more 2 minutes. I just
Sure.
want to leave 2 minutes to people to ask questions, and no more questions, then I could go back to my new applications.
Let's go back to that because yeah, we're not
Okay.
going to have any like people on the actual mic. That's just the Q&A part.
Okay, and by the way, I noticed one question about whether owning Spring Cloud Sleuth is needed to get that tracing. The answer is we need both Sleuth and Zipkin. Yeah. Okay, so let me go back to our new application. Okay, they are running. So so for new application in general, we will give you a welcome page. And after that, you could deploy your own applications. So let me then public endpoint here. Yeah, welcome Spring Boot developers. Nice to meet you guys. And lastly, let me share to you how to deploy one application. So we may don't have much time to complete all of them, but let me show you how to do that. So you could tap app deploy, and if you don't remember the long command, just with edge to get help. So let me go to my test 2, and I need to go to give the name of my application, Kylie match. Yes, apologize, I forgot that. Kylie match, and the group name Kylie match. Then you could go to your Java path. Yeah, I should have something. Wait a minute, I should have something different. So let me go to my example. I have just Spring Boot, city complete, city target. I have something there. Then you could go to their job task. Okay, then you could go here and copy paste the job name here. Then that's all you need to do. Then just wait for maybe seconds and 1 minute, and then you could get your application up. Okay, so that's all what I have for today's session. Thank you, everybody.